So there guys, and welcome back to Towns. It has been 2 weeks. Hello, Velerious.
Hello.
Welcome back from holiday, son.
I know.
Where you been?
Turkey.
On pause. Been to Turkey.
They had some delicious turkey.
Did there?
Yeah.
Is it a lot of wild turkeys running
No,
around?
there was absolutely no turkey. They did actually serve turkey in the hotel nearly every single day.
But did you see any live turkeys while you were there? No.
That's the chickens. They moved into all the old houses that people moved out of. So all the chickens were like, living in there. There was one sat on a bed. It was amazing.
But the chicken sat on someone's bed.
Well, it's like old houses, isn't it?
I
And
don't
like
know.
people just
You
kind
tell
of
me.
well, they've just got like loads of old houses that have doors kicked in and loads of weeds growing everywhere and such. Like
Ruins.
yeah, but kind of not ruins. It's kind of recent. You know, they've
Recent ruins.
moved out of them because everyone's getting more money. So
Oh, I
you know.
see. So it's just abandoned.
Yeah, and basically the chickens have moved into these houses, and like all the little bed frames that are still there and things, they've just like gone, yep, this is my
Family
nest
of
now.
chickens moved in next door.
Yeah.
Play their music really loud.
Oh god, imagine it, fucking rooster every morning. I'm gonna fucking strangle him.
So, Velerious, tell me that little story about the island again, because I fucking love that.
Oh, the island. Well, while we're in Turkey, one of the things that happens when you walk along the seafront is every single Turkish guy who owns a boat will ask you to go on trips somewhere. And they've all got like little special trips that they do, and you know, one guy will do this trip better than this other guy will do it, and this guy will offer you a discount on this trip because this other guy will not go for you a discount on it. And one of the people we walked past was a guy who said that he was offering a trip to an island.
Yeah.
And this island, it just basically pointed at just a random island, just, you know, you could see like where like the ocean is, everything.
Yeah.
Just like the bit of fog that you get at the end,
Yeah,
of your
yeah.
peripheral vision. There's just an island there.
Okay.
Just normal looking island.
So not very
It was
far
like,
away.
yeah, and he was like, so I can take you there. It's 10 Turkish lira, which works out roughly around about 230,
yeah,
230, somewhere around there.
About £2, I think.
So, yeah, about £2 for each person to go to this island, okay?
Yeah.
And we were like, so what is there to do on this island? And he went, well, actually, there's nothing. He was like, there's nothing to do on the island. We were like, well, is there any like wildlife, you know, like fish or something like that? He was like, no, there's no fish. In fact, there's barely anything near it. There's a lot of kelp.
Help.
Yeah, sort of like, you
Kelp
know,
Island.
just crap in the ocean and shit like that, basically. But he was like, there's no real fish. There's no like turtles that come there or anything. It's just an island. And we were like, so why would you go there? He's like, oh, because English tourists really like this island. Really good island. And he proceeded to pull out this small...
Hashtag Great Island.
He proceeded to pull out this small notepad of like, you know, it was like a diary kind of thing where people have written down the date that they went to this island, have written down like a review of it for
Yeah,
him.
it's like a comic book.
Yeah. But
It's like TripAdvisor,
it was
but in
just
book form.
but it was just for this specific island because a lot of people apparently go on it. It wasn't any other trips, it was just there. And he was like pointing and going, oh, please read this one. This one's very good and all this business. And we're reading through it. It's like, this island was really good. I really enjoyed the trip. It was fantastic. And one person put like, what a great way to spend the last day of our holiday on this island. And put like 5 stars. And I was like, is that a genuine thing?
5 stars.
And he was like, you can see tourists really like going on this island and everything. So we eventually just didn't go on the island.
You should have
'Cause-
gone, man.
Don't want to go on the island?
Well, I said it sounded suspicious as fuck.
It does sound suspicious.
I said it sounds like maybe he's got all his mates on the island with like knives. And then when you get there, they're like, okay, because all your money, I will shank you.
But all the like notes that have been written were all in different handwritings.
It's all his
and
friends
such.
and family. Oh, yeah, it's a lovely island.
And one of the things you notice over there is like they are terrible at spelling English.
Yeah, yeah.
All the hotels are called hotels. They just miss off the H. When we first got there, we were walking along, and I found fish and sips.
Nice. Fish and sips.
And then we got back to the hotel
You have a
and
nice
sips.
fish meal and sips like cooks it for you.
But
and-
sips is an actual dish.
Oh, right.
It's like a potato baked in fish oil or something. And
It's like a potato
they call it
cut into strips.
but it's called sips, right? As in CIPS.
Right, I
Sips.
see.
So it's like they've just missed off the H, which is so bizarre. But there's loads of little things like that.
Now tell me about that guy who came to the hotel
Which one?
with the voices. Was it a taxi or something?
Oh, right. No, it was a bus that
A
showed
bus.
up. Because obviously buses stop every 5 seconds to pick people up for trips, pick them up to go off the hotel, back to the hotel, everything like that.
Yeah,
Even bars have a shuttle system. So, you know, like, when you go into a bar,
yeah.
they bring a shuttle around, you get on it, and then at the end of the night, when you're too pissed to walk home, they take you home on the shuttle.
Yeah.
So this guy showed up, he had like a huge kind of bus, and he's like proper Turkish, man, like one shoe on, holes in his jumpers and everything. And he's like walking over, he's got like this piece of paper with him that looks like it's just been torn out of a book. It's quite brown, coffee stained kind of piece of paper that he's scrawled something on in Turkish. And he goes walking up to the security guard who's outside our hotel, right? And the security guard's like, you can't come in here kind of thing. And he's like, whoa, no, with this list. Right? And the security guard just kind of looks at it and then throws it back at him. It's like, no, kind of thing. So this guy again, gets this list, looks at him like this again with this list. The security guard's like, oh, fuck's sake. Like, shrugs at him, takes it into the receptionist and gives it to her going, and she goes, like shrugging at him. He's like, shrugs back at her. So he walks back out to this guy again and throws the paper back at him again, as if to go, no, this is not what you're meant to be. And he's just like, and walks off, gets his fucking bus and drives off.
Amazing. It's the Turkish voices. I love it.
They're a bit weird because I always thought that Turks would speak like Greeks for some strange reason.
Yeah.
Just in my brain, that's just what I thought they'd sound like. But when you're there, it's actually very much different.
Yeah.
They kind of sound, like they've all had helium for breakfast. And
Brilliant. Oh my god! When you told me that story, it's even better with like the visual effects. But
yeah,
it was great. It was a good story. I liked it.
Well,
I can picture it very clearly in my head.
There's lots of these Turkish people as well, though. When you're walking along, they're like, "Oh, excuse me, hello," but from across the road.
Yeah.
And then they'll run across the road with all the traffic just putting their hands out, like, "No, don't hit me," kind of thing. Run across to you. You come in my shop and look at handbags. And he's like, "No, don't need to look at your fucking handbags." Cross the street to get away from you.
That's the tourist trade there, man. That's what it's like.
Yeah, but the problem is, I could understand, like, if you were selling belts, okay, how many belts in a year do you go through?
Oh, yeah, I know, but it's
and how many handbags do you go through?
Yeah, but they want you to buy them and take them home to all your friends and everything else, you know what I mean? It's like, if they're a belt salesman, they've got to sell so many belts per week to pay for their family.
But even so, if you're a handbag salesman, they sell them all at really cheap-ass prices.
Well, yeah.
And whenever you speak to them, right, their haggling is shit.
Yeah.
They're like, I sell this to 50 Turkish lira, and you're like, what about 10? He's like, well, okay, I guess that's about right.
They don't care what you pay for it. It costs them like next to nothing. It's just they just want to sell lots.
If it costs them next to nothing, I'd pay 10 lira for a fucking belt. I'd pay 10 lira for 5 belts. I don't care.
It's amazing, isn't it?
The weirdest thing is, the cheapest thing is Turkish Delight, which my box of Turkish Delight I've got down there, it costs 4 Turkish lira.
Yeah.
The exchange rate was 4.5 over there, so that's less than a quid for a box of Turkish Delight.
Yeah. It's good shit.
The thing is, I bet they didn't even make it over there. Turkey was just like, oh, God.
Oh, no, of course it won't
everyone thinks we're like...
It'll be made in like fucking Ethiopia and just shipped over.
But they're like, they've now become associated with Turkish Delight because Turkey, so they've got to get loads of Turkish Delight in for the tourists.
Turkish Delight's just sugar, so it'll be like, a lot of sugar's produced in Africa, so it'll just be produced in Africa, refined over there, turned into Turkish Delight and just shipped over, or it'll be shipped over as raw sugar and just cooked up.
I hear the sugar down in Africa.
A lot of confectionery seems to be made in Poland these days.
Nice and cold, don't
So,
melt.
yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they ship it to Poland, make it into Turkish Delight, and then ship it around Europe from there.
They ship it to Poland, they make the Turkish Delight, they ship it over to China, they make the box, ship it back to Turkey, who wrap it up with some cellophane, and then go, hey, I'll tell you this money, €45. And you're like, no, we'll take it to okay, that money.
ship it to Australia to have it wrapped in cellophane, ship it back.
There is some,
it
though.
goes.
There's some that, like, if they're like specialised shops, they will try to rip the shit out of you.
Yeah.
So, like, there was a tobacconist we found.
Yeah.
And we'd just gone into a store before there. It was just some old guy come out and he was like, oh, you want to look in my mini-mart? And we were like, yeah, go on then. Went looked in this guy's mini-mart and he was like, oh, you look like a man who likes a cigar. I was like, yes. And he was like, I have this cigar here. And he brought out a little packet of cigars, okay, about yay big. It's not very big. And he was like 15 Turkish lira.
Okay.
Works out about 3 to 4 quid. Was like, oh, it's not bad. So I bought that. Went down the road to the tobacconist. Same fucking packet. It was like 50 Turkish lira, my friend. It's very, very rare to get this packet anywhere else. I was like, we just passed 3 mini-marts selling it for like 15 Turkish lira. Even worse is we found another guy on the day we were coming home who was selling them for 10.
Yeah.
So it's like, they all try to fucking rip you off.
You would have haggled him down to like fucking 5 from that 50 though, so it don't really matter.
You can't haggle with him. He was not haggling. Because he was a tobacconist. He was like, they think I know my shit.
I'm a tobacconist. I know my shit.
We got them ginger sweets for you though.
Yeah, I noticed. I'm not actually doing anything for Velerious because they need to do some hauling anyway. So I figured while we do the holiday catch-up, there's no real need to do any work.
Holiday catch-up.
So while you were away, I've obviously put some poker bins. I know you've seen them.
Yeah.
So that was just to keep people going. Don't know if people like that or not, but it was fun. That Prominence
Poker
Poker,
night at the Charon.
not bad. We could do maybe a multiplayer on that at some point if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah.
Because it's quite. You can set up a friends only table.
Yeah.
Which would be a lot easier than the way we did it before when we did it on Tabletop Sim, which is hard as balls because it's all automated. You don't have to fuck about. Nice little game, really. You know.
10 out of 10.
I mean,
We'll play again.
Your mileage may vary, but it's a lot of fun. And the only reason I sort of stopped playing it recently is because Alien Swarm Reactive Drop got released, and suddenly I abandoned all other games. I have been waiting for this shit. Oh my god, I fucking love Alien Swarm. And it's like the original game sort of died off. A lot of network connectivity issues, lack of support from Valve, only 7 missions, no workshop support, all this bollocks. So they've sort of relaunched it. It's not really changed. So everything's pretty much the same. All the weapons are the same, the Marines, the graphics, the combat, everything. Even the shit server browser, which was the one thing I was expecting them to improve. But it still uses the god-awful Left 4 Dead system, which is the worst browser system ever.
It's so beautiful. It doesn't work 50% of the time.
Yeah, so it can be a bit of a pain because like it still does that thing where it pulls your network IP instead of your public IP when you create a game.
Yeah.
So unless you've specifically set up port forwarding DMZs or like you're the only thing on a wired non-router modem and stuff like that, it's almost impossible. So like you'll try and join a lot of games and it'll just won't let you connect. It's trying to connect through a fucking local IP. But when you finally do get a game going, it's great fun. And there's still a lot of people out there who know what they're doing, who are doing some speed runs. So I've been pubbing to like just grind up the levels and stuff for a laugh. And then I've met a couple of lads and did some speed runs with them. Some fucking amazing speed runs, my friend. Oh my god.
So dodgy. So I met a couple of lads, we bumped each other.
Put it this way, on 2 different missions, I am ranked 13th in the world.
Nice.
And bear in mind, the first...
how long it takes for hackers to get above that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The first 5 on the leaderboard are just like hackers doing it in 0.1 of a second, okay? Which is just, with just 2 ammo crates and a fucking welder or something like that. You literally can't do anything that.
That's what you do.
But, so I'm pretty much top 10 on 2 maps. I was like, holy fuck, it's amazing.
Being carried by the speedrunners.
Yeah, no, it was some good effort all around. Obviously, I don't play tech when I'm speedrunning.
Good effort all round. So they said to you, right, hold this flag. You're like, okay, then what do I do with this flag? And they're like, okay, we're back. Let's run. We've done it.
One of the guys is like the pro tech. The other one's pretty pro faith medic. So like the next best thing for me is Wildcat because she's the next fastest and obviously the most stopping power for holding the maps where you've got to hold an area.
Hold the aliens.
So I've been playing Wildcat and I'm getting very good as Wildcat now. Holy fuck. But we did have a few missions where we brought like a 4th man along. Yeah. And it was just like, it really was like, okay, you're Bastille. Just please don't die. That's it. Just follow faith and don't die. That's all you got to do. But yeah, it was amazing, mate. We've had some really good times. And we did, we went for an outstanding execution mission, which is where you don't speedrun, you play on normal and you get to the end without anyone dying through the whole campaign. So you can't have, even a single death, you've got to restart the entire campaign again. So we tried it on one of the long ones, and the Bastille medic unfortunately died twice. So we tried one of the short ones. It's only 2 missions long, but they're like really long 8-minute missions, and it's just full of fucking aliens. It's so hard. But what we did is like I was Wildcat, and I had the minigun, the auto upgrade that you can't aim it because it's just a cone, but it's just a cone of death. And so we just we had that, and then we had like one medic just stuck to me like glue, and then the other 2 bring up the rear, and I just carved through like fucking thousands of aliens with the minigun. It was the most amazing shit ever.
Have we not had a merchant in ages?
Not for a while, actually, no.
Huh. Weird.
But also, don't jinx it, because we haven't had a siege for a while either.
I know, but I would like to get a merchant to get rid of that sand.
It looks like they're idling, so I'm going to put the next block of wall on. So yeah, I've been bombing Alien Swarm Velerious. I know I won't shut up about it, but it's...
You do love Alien Swarm.
I fucking love this game. If you've never played Alien Swarm, you need to get on that shit. Just really learn how to play it, and it'll be very rewarding. If you're just going to run through like a noob, you'll get bored so quickly. But it's amazingly good fun.
That's how I play all my games, run through like a noob.
Yeah, I know.
Have you seen me play The Forest?
The problem is, it's like I saw guys right who are like who have like managed to hit their first promotion. Okay, they're like halfway towards their second promotion, so they've played it quite a lot to get that far, and they know nothing. Like at one point we were on Rydberg, and it's like there's the bit where you got to press the button, and there's maybe 15 seconds where you got to wait for the door to open, and it's a bit of a choke point. And the best thing to do is just sit wildcat there with the autogun because it's a straight corridor, nothing will touch you, you're fine, sort of thing. So I put myself down in position, start unloading with the autogun. The officer takes my right like a boss to cover the one vent that I can't reach, and starts pounding away with the Vindicator at the vent. Meanwhile, the Bastille medic, why is it always Bastille? I'll come on to that in a second. The Bastille medic sort of is just hanging around with a basic rifle, goes running out into my line of fire. It's like if you go down there with a basic rifle, you're going to kill maybe 3 aliens tops before you have to reload, get swarmed and die. But he ran down there, killed maybe 3 aliens, had to reload, came running back.
Got swarmed and died.
No, he made it back, but I didn't stop firing, so I was like, he's going to get swarmed and die. I'm just going to have to friendly fire him, otherwise he's dead, sort of thing. And he came running back, sort of limped in behind me, healed himself up and went, Jesus, man, friendly fire. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, mate?
Friendly fire, jeez, God, Sharon.
But this is the other thing as well. It's like I see so many people playing Bastille instead of Faith when they go medic. And it's like, these are people who haven't even unlocked the adrenaline, which is the only thing Bastille is good for. And literally the only thing he's got is the adrenaline.
Adrenaline? You mean heroin?
Yeah, pretty much. It gets very addictive using the adrenaline when you're speedrunning. We did like almost the entire level in slow motion. It was only like a minute long. And we just did the whole minute just in slow motion. It was amazing.
Wow.
But yeah, everyone takes Bastille. It's like, don't take Bastille. He's really shit. He's the worst character. He's so badly nerfed on the healing.
Wonder how many people actually play Alien Swarm in our comment section.
But then the Bastille medic will see someone get hit by a parasite and put down one beacon and then wonder why they die.
It's got to be so. Alien Swarm, to be honest, is a lot bigger than people like give it credit for.
Yeah.
Even the first one was quite big when it first came out.
I see a lot of people as well who, like, you'll get hit by a parasite, and even though they're, like, high level, they immediately turn around and start shooting you. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? That does not help. That does the opposite of help. That kills me. Well, what's wrong with you, man? Learn how to fucking play.
Shoot him in the head. It's the only way to cure parasites.
So how have you racked up 50 hours and you don't even know the basic mechanics of the game?
What's that? Shoot you in the head?
I know, isn't it? Oh, man. And you get the noobs as well who've got the obsession with welding every door shut in the level.
I used to do that when we first played the first one.
You get to the end of the level and you're like, where's the other guy? He's right back at the start welding the first door shut. And you're like, what the fuck? And we strolled back to find one guy and he was setting up a sentry in a corner somewhere. We're like, what are you doing? He's like, putting a sentry up. And we're like, we finished the level. All the aliens are dead. The exit is open. You just got to walk there.
He was just like, but you never know.
But we need to cover this spot.
The minute you start running towards the elevator, there's one. He's like, just killed one alien that was on 2 health that was just limping after you all.
Isn't it, man?
He's like, yeah, that was the fucking idiot. Oh, set up my fucking sentry guns. Weld it to this door.
It's funny as fuck.
You just go back and you're like, where's the technician? And he's just there on the door. You're like, what's wrong? He's like, I've welded myself to the door. I can't get free.
It is really funny as well, especially if you're playing with noobs and they notice your high level.
Yeah.
And it's like...
They do that thing where they just stick to you.
Like, yeah.
They expect you to just do it.
Well, no, that's a good thing, because that generally works, but it's like...
Yeah, but they don't learn from it. They just stick to you and go, do it.
It's more like when they run off and leave you to defend the back, and you're like, okay, I can do that for so long. But then I was on one mission, and I was catching up and defending the back, so I'm like, okay, I'll just take out everything that's behind them, and they'll be fine. I know how to do this. And then, like, right at the end, I'm sort of running up the screen like this, and they're all up here somewhere. And I've been running through the whole map. And from behind me comes a parasite. It's one of those missions where you've got, like, loads of eggs to burn, and they've all got flamers, I've got the autogun, and they just left the eggs and ran off. So the eggs have all hatched, and I didn't realise, because I'm like, these guys have got flamers. I assume they've burned all the eggs on the way up. Just got hit by a parasite, and they were like, "Oh, you shit! You got hit by a parasite." I'm like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "You fucking noobs!
What a fucking idiot! Eaten by a parasite in Alien Swarm! Oh, you fucking idiot!"
It was so fucking funny.
Just with their white vans, yelling at you.
Yeah.
Go on, parasite! Eat his fucking head.
I still love the game though. I don't care. I don't mind babysitting noobs. I do my best to try and teach them how it works.
That's the fun part of noobs.
But it is hilarious. And you're like, when you see them, they'll put a sentry in it. It's like it's basically a fucking wall or some shit. And a lot of them seem to do the thing where they'll put the sentry base down and then run away before it's finished building, so it stops building. And then they think they've built it, so there's just like a sentry base just sat there.
Well, I remember in the first game, I used to do that welding doors thing.
Yeah.
When we first got the first one.
It's a lot of fun, especially when you're
weld all the
noobs.
walls. Yeah, I used to fucking weld every
And
fucking door.
even when you're pro, if you're going for the zero mortality, like, you know, the outstanding execution, it can be worth welding certain doors.
Yeah, but I mean, we used to do every single door. At one point, if you remember, we welded ourselves into one room and had to unweld a door to get back out of the fucking room.
Someone did that today.
Yeah.
The fucking door that leads to the exit. It was on Timor's. You, like, run through a door. And then, like, he'd welded the door, so when we came back to, like, escape, the door's welded. And he's, like, got the welder, he's fucking miles away, and we're like, oh, no, we're just going to have to wait for this fucking idiot now. We're on a timer, it's ticking down, and we're like, unweld the door!
Well, we did that in the first one, but what we did was, it was like, there was like 4 areas to come in, right? And we all came in, and you came in and was like, weld the door behind me. So I went and welded it. Welded the one behind me when I came in. Welded the one behind Jay when he came in, and there's one door left. Went over to it, it led nowhere. And we were like, oh shit, well all 3 doors are now fucking welded, and the aliens are bashing them in. So I had to go and find the safest doors and unweld it while the aliens were coming.
It's so much fun. There's a lot of obsessions with people taking the Tesla cannon as well, which, if you remember, is the gun that does 0 damage.
Yeah.
Well, it does 1 point of damage and stuns the aliens, so they'll all go running in with their Teslas, like, fry like a huge group of aliens, and then the stun wears off, and it's just like, now there's 50 aliens. Oh, shit.
Stun them again. Keep stunning them. This can't go bad.
Oh, God.
Stun them. Weld the door. Stun them. Weld the door. Stun them.
It's pretty funny. But they've made some changes. You can't stun the shield bugs anymore, which is a bit annoying. I don't think you can stun the boomers either. They fixed some of the speedrun glitches, so you can't... If you remember the bit where you blow up a bridge and it falls down and you run across, you used to be able to run across the tiny little edge. You can't do that anymore.
You also could jetpack across it or something.
Yeah, you can't use the jet boots to get onto the top of the map on Timor's anymore, run down like that. You can't use jet boots to jump onto the bridge while it's moving. You can't use jet boots to, like, jump the room on the Dima Bridge, or jump the gates on the Dima Bridge, or jump the shield bug on the Dima Bridge. So the speedruns are, like, the times are still the same, so they've gotten harder.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are pretty fucking tough on the basic missions without those exploits.
Oh god, all the noobs though.
It's like having to learn the map again to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Just testing what works. But I mean, you can still use your basic sort of chainsaws and PDWs with a damage amp to get through doors instead of hacking and stuff. But they've made a couple of those doors undestroyable. So now you've got somewhere you have to hack through. You can't just, like, cheese it.
You have to weld it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to weld it.
Weld it shut, hack it.
Yeah.
Wait for it to open when it's
So,
unwelded.
I could talk about Alien Swarm forever, Velerious, but that's the end of the episode. So I'm going to pause Derpsville.
Oh, no.
And if you'd like to say bye-bye to everybody,
Bye-bye.
we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.